Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's Allan Laboucan with the Rocks and Stocks News Show. Got a In the News segment today to talk about some companies that have made some big news. And I'm going to get it started off right away with the two of my sponsors have come to terms on a deal that I'm very excited about. I'm happy for both companies. i-80 Gold announces board-supported acquisition of Paycore Minerals. i-80 Gold and Paycore are pleased to announce they've entered a definitive arrangement agreement whereby i-80 Gold will acquire all the outstanding shares of Paycore. Paycore owns the FAD property, host to the high-grade FAD deposits, located immediately south of and adjoining i-80 Gold's 100% owned Ruby Hill property located in Eureka, Nevada. Transaction will consolidate the northern portion of the Eureka district. This is right beside the town of Eureka, and is expected to strengthen i-80 Gold's dominant presence in the district by increasing the size of the land at Ruby Hill by more than 34%. Highlights of the transaction: exchange ratio of 0.68 of an i-80 common share for each Paycore share held, representing a 36% premium from Paycore shareholders based on the 20-day volume weighted average price for Paycore and i-80 for the period ending on February 24th, and a 26% premium based on the closing price of both companies on February 24th, which was Friday. It provides i-80 with an additional high-grade deposit, a long trend from mineralization being drilled on the Ruby Hill property and in close proximity to the Ruby Hill processing infrastructure. They talk about the historical resource, 3.5 million tons, grade of 5.14 gold, 196 grams of silver, 8% zinc, and 3.8% lead. It consolidates the northern portion of the Eureka district and enhances the upside opportunity of i-80 post-transaction, increases i-80's land position along the highly prospective Jackson-Holly Fault corridor from 1.5 kilometers to 4.3 kilometers. Unanimous board approval and support from Paycore's largest shareholder, Waterton Nevada Splitter and Waterton Nevada Splitter 2, which holds approximately 25% of the outstanding shares of Paycore. Then there's a great quote from Ewan Downey, who is the CEO of i-80, stating, I quote, "The geological setting being defined in the Eureka district is truly the most unique I've witnessed in my career. In the immediate areas surrounding the Archimedes pit, we have identified oxide gold, Carlin-type refractory gold, base metal skarn, and polymetallic carbonate replacement mineralization. Older mineralizing events are often overprinted by Carlin-type mineralization, resulting in precious metal-rich deposits not found elsewhere in the Great Basin. We have intersected high-grade mineralization in every one of our targets tested in 2022, all of which remain open for expansion. The expanded property has the potential to host a world-class polymetallic deposit with enhanced potential for further discoveries," end quote. Where there was a quote from Matthew Galat, who's executive VP of i-80. He stated, and I quote, "The consolidation of the core part of the Ruby Hill district will allow i-80 to aggressively pursue the optimization of the company's multi-year development plan to create one of the largest U.S.-focused diversified mineral producers. Step-out drilling results from Paycore's 2022 drill program confirm the upside potential of what we believe to be one of Nevada's highest grade undeveloped deposits that will benefit from the Ruby Hill processing infrastructure," end quote. Christina McCarthy, CEO of Paycore, stated, and I quote, "This transaction not only provides Paycore shareholders with greater exposure to the Eureka district, but also i-80's high-grade Granite Creek and Cove projects, and its existing permitted infrastructure, which includes an autoclave, while also delivering a significant premium and enhanced liquidity as i-80 shareholders, end quote. Jim Gowans, who's the chairman of Paycore, stated, the mineralization of these two properties is indicating a massive carbonate replacement system along the fault corridor between the two properties. The combination of i-80 and Paycore deposits is shaping up to be among the most highest grade carbonate replacement deposits in the world, end quote. And if anyone understands CRD deposits, it's Jim Gowans, because he was the CEO of Arizona Mining that was bought out for $2 billion because of their CRD deposit in Arizona. I think that this is a fantastic deal for both companies. Paycore shareholders get a consolidation where they will become significant shareholders of i-80 Gold. i-80 Gold has the mining permits and advancing permits that will enable the Paycore FAD deposit to become part of the future plans of i-80 Gold. In addition, the Paycore shareholders will have exposure to Granite Creek, and at Granite Creek, they have a world-class deposit of gold. It is over 600 meters along strike. It's open as you continue to the north along strike and at depth. And what makes that project so special is that it is a very high-grade deposit with exceptionally good continuity of the high grade. In addition, as you go north, you're in the same structural regime and also the same geological rock packages that not far to the north is a 25 million ounce gold deposit. And with the open nature of the deposit that i-80 is drilling on, the South Pacific zone in particular, it looks like it's got the potential to go all the way to the edge of their border, and it's open at depth. And interesting enough, as they go deeper, the grades get higher. So I think that's easily a world-class gold project. And at the Cove project, they've got over 1 million ounces of gold with a grade of over 10 grams per ton of gold. So that makes for another outstanding asset. And then they've also got all this mining infrastructure for oxides and refractory gold. So i-80 is really, I think, a multi-billion-dollar company in the making, and the Paycore shareholders are getting shares in i-80 Gold when it is trading at well under $1 billion valuation. So I think there's lots of blue sky ahead for i-80 Gold based on this transaction and the Paycore Minerals shareholders. Now, I'm going to be having an interview shortly today with Christina McCarthy from Paycore Minerals, and I'm also working on getting an interview together with Ewan Downey from i-80 Gold. Now, they're both very busy because they're at the BMO mining conference in Florida, and I believe they're going to be the talk of the show. So both managements are very busy telling their story, and I think they've got a hell of a story to talk about. Not only do they have the hilltop discovery of i-80 Gold, that's a phenomenal CRD with an overprint of high-grade gold, but then about 2,000 meters away, you've got the FAD deposit that Paycore has been advancing, and it looks like there's a potential that they're connected, because right in the middle of those two deposits is a big IP geophysical anomaly, which could be the plumbing system and mineralizing system that got both of these CRD discoveries that i-80 has made at Hilltop, and what Paycore has made down on their FAD deposit. And then importantly, The structural corridor that they talk about is now if i-80 gets this done, will be about over 4,000 meters and the same kind of rock packages. So there's lots of room to grow this. And I'm looking forward to talking to Christina McCarthy in the next hour or so, and I'll get that link out as soon as I do that interview. And then hopefully we can get together with you and Downey from i-80 Gold to talk more about this. But, you know, we got another transaction, another consolidation in the gold business. And I think that we're in the very early stages of a much stronger market for gold. And with what i-80 Gold has, what Paycore Minerals have, I think there's a lot of blue sky ahead for the combined Paycore and i-80 Gold. And I'll get more on that for you today. On that note, I'm going to now talk about another Nevada company, which is a company called BlackRock Silver. And they announced BlackRock Silver plans follow-up drill program at offset bonanza grade intercept in the Northwest Canyon project on the Silver Cloud project. They announced that they are finalizing drill plans and permitting sites for a phase 1 drill program at its bonanza grade discovery drill hole in the Northwest Canyon on the Silver Cloud project. The Silver Cloud is located within the high-grade northern Nevada Rift in north-central Nevada, adjacent to the Hollister mine and on trend with the Midas mine. The company plans to permit 4,000 meters of drill program to follow up on that Northwest Canyon discovery. The drill program will test approximately 500 meters of strike along the vein as well as down to potential. Andrew Pollard, who's the CEO and president, stated, and I quote, "Virgin high-grade discoveries are very rare in Nevada, which makes us very excited to bring drills back to follow up on our recent multi-million ounce gold and silver discovery at Silver Cloud. The project encompasses one of the largest unexplored epithermal districts in Nevada, situated directly on trend of two of Nevada's highest grade gold mines, where we now have a very high resolution target with multiple pierce points along a drill-defined structure tracked over 425 meters. Permitting is now underway for what has the potential to be a very consequential follow-up drill program that will take place during the second quarter, testing up to 500 meters of strike for Midas-style mineralization." Now, this is a really big deal to me because I study epithermal veins very closely, and they're only one hole into this Northwest Canyon epithermal vein target, and they've already hit bonanza grades. What that means is very early in the exploration of that vein, they have already hit the boiling zone of the epithermal vein. This is a seminal moment in the exploration of an epithermal vein because there is often zonation of grade along strike and at depth of epithermal veins. And ideally what you're looking for is the boiling zone, which is your preferential zone of where you would find a mineable deposit. And when you get the bonanza grades that they got, I mean, you're talking 70 grams of gold and hundreds of grams of silver, that shows you that that is a very exciting epithermal vein that they can go at in a very extremely hard way because they've already tagged the boiling zone. Part of the trick in exploring an epithermal vein system is to drill and find a boiling zone, because then you can step out. They tend to be about 300 meters deep from top to bottom, depending, of course, sometimes there can be a double boiling zone which, could extend it to 600 meters. But, the dimensions that they're talking about are the kind of thing that make for very high quality, high margin gold and silver mines when you mine these epithermal veins. And that's not the only project that they have. Down at Tonopah, they have already come up with a resource with a very high grade of silver equivalent. That is a network of epithermal veins where they have discovered a sizable epithermal vein cluster that continues to get bigger. I think they've got a new resource calculation to come out sometime this year that will be very impressive. And they've got two excellent epithermal vein systems, and then they're also involved with lithium. So this company has several drivers to unlock shareholder value. I think that what they've got going on at Silver Cloud and in Tonopah are quite exceptional. I think that the Tonopah one definitely shows a sign that it has the realistic potential to become a future mine. I don't think BlackRock will be the one that mines it. I think that they will be bought out by a much larger company for a significant premium from the current valuation. I think that they're very undervalued relative to the quality of the assets that they hold. And I suggest that you do some homework on BlackRock Silver for the investors that like Nevada, that like high grade and big deposits and a cheap valuation. BlackRock fits that bill. All righty. So the final company I'm going to talk about today is McEwen Mining. They announced that McEwen, as an additional $30 million investment by Nuton, which is a Rio Tinto venture. McEwen Copper, a subsidiary of McEwen Mining, is pleased to announce a binding agreement for an additional $30 million investment by Nuton LLC, a Rio Tinto venture and existing McEwen Copper shareholder. They've agreed to a $30 million investment. After closing, Nuton will own 14.2% of McEwen Copper on a fully diluted basis, and McEwen Mining will own 51.9%. The transaction values McEwen Copper at approximately $550 million, which is pretty close to their current valuation. So you get the gold mining operations for free. McEwen Copper's Chief Executive Officer, Rob McEwen, said, and I quote, "We are extremely pleased to have Nuton's strong continued participation in McEwen Copper. Together, we are exploring new technologies that save energy, water, time, and capital in the pursuit of delivering green copper to Argentina and the world, a product that will contribute to the electrification of transportation and the protection of our atmosphere," end quote. There's more details in there. You can read that. And I would also mention that we've got tentatively scheduled a meeting or an interview with Rob McEwen on Thursday. So we'll have lots to talk about, and I'll leave it at that because we'll expand more on this transaction, but really important stuff that this Rio Tinto division, Nuton, is putting even more money into McEwen Copper, which says a lot about McEwen Copper. And as I said earlier, I believe that you're basically getting the copper part of the gold part of the company for free. And that makes for an exciting opportunity for investors. So as always, my shows are for information purposes only. Important for you to do your homework, speak with your financial advisors, and check out the company's website. Check out the interviews that I've done with all of these companies. And that's a great place to start your homework, and then check out the company's websites and their news releases and their corporate presentations. On that note, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.